companies come up to us and say, I have a cool idea for a t-shirt or I have a clothing line, and they think it's just as easy as them coming up with an idea and then printing it, quote unquote, have a clothing line. But there's a lot of stuff that actually that go behind that. We are blessed in an age that you could actually do everything yourself. And you could actually kind of now just have an idea and print real quick. But what we want to speak about are the right measures to make sure you have a long, everlasting brand and you're actually making a statement. So number one is DNA. DNA is actually what someone stands for. So say for instance, if you're a company and you need to figure out, number one, what your statement's going to be, what the brand's about, and what's the story that you want to tell. There's a million different companies out there, so we need to actually focus on what your story is and what you actually want to do. You can't just kind of like look at a million different t-shirts out there and say, I want this to look like this and this to look like that. I think every single great brand that everyone loves and respects has a certain look. Ralph Lauren looks like Ralph Lauren, Supreme looks like Supreme, A-Life looks like A-Life. There's not really a misconception of really what the brand's direction is, and it's really always spot on. So you need to actually kind of make sure that you have a signature look. Now going back to the look, I always say there's really about 7 or 8 different kind of t-shirts that you could kind of have. And number one, you always have either a straight typography shirt. When I mean typography, I'm not talking about simple name typography. I'm speaking about really custom font and the font work and that kind of style. You could do a logo flip. You could have a strong illustration kind of shirt. You could also have a photograph kind of tee, which is always kind of like a box tee. I have t-shirts I gave to clients and they sat around for a year, 2 years. Probably one of the things that I know personally that I'm not good at is actually the marketing portion of getting the shirts out and all this other stuff, because a ton of people always want to do shirts with me. But I'm like, I'll design a t-shirt, but I really think that's only 30% of actually having, a t-shirt company. Because once you have the design, then I feel like you have to sell the shirts. Yeah. Because there's a million brilliant artists, and designers who are doing great stuff in their house, but the world doesn't see it. So the question is, how are you going to let the world see your stuff? So you need to think about someone who's really into marketing and knows how to get the word out. That's why you see a lot of companies now teaming up with rappers and people with big social media and stuff like that, because they know they have the audience for you to do something dope with. You could put it on their back, and then people could actually, kind of see that, see their stuff.
This brand is pretty much designated only for advertisements based on the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Like what Drew was saying before, I focused on typography. I take anything that's back from my childhood, and I take that and I try to bring it now in a nostalgic manner. I made a bodega shirt because, the bodega shirt brings back signages, how advertisement was. So Brook & James is pretty much, you got a vintage style, but in an urban manner. Pretty much my starter line is like, you know what? I gotta make up mock-ups. So I had to come up with ideas, and each shirt has a story of its own. I'm not just gonna print out something to make it look good and then go sell. It doesn't work that way. Finalizing my design work and the artworks for the t-shirts, now it's based on, what kind of color t-shirt is gonna be, what kind of material, is it gonna be tri-blend, is it gonna be next level? Based on my artwork, I have to base it on old school material. So for example, tri-blend. I use tri-blend material, which is a lightweight material on the shirts. It's very easy to wash if you get any stains on it or anything like that. So I stick to that. And also, like what Drew was saying about packaging and everything, for example, one of the lines of Brook & James is called Bodega Classics. When you were a little kid going with your parents to the store buying stuff like that, you're gonna get everything in a brown bag. If I'm gonna have a pop-up shop in the future, I will sell all my shirts in a brown bag. So that's trying to intertwine everything into one vintage style brand. Pretty much last month I launched my site, e-commerce site. It's a print to order type of website. So I pretty much don't carry inventory unless somebody purchases the order itself, and then it goes to print, and then it gets shipped into the client's destination. I know a lot of people will do bulk orders, have a lot of inventory in there and stuff, but I took a different route now as far as that online. Do my promotions with Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
And it's also smarter, because at the end of the day, if you actually print out a whole bunch of t-shirts and you don't sell them, you're gonna be stuck with inventory. So he actually inspired me, because I actually had a brand I started with a friend of mine, and I'm actually gonna bring that back. On that note, Thank you for coming to Coffee Break,
Thank you.
and we're out.